Risk. What is risk? According to the dictionary, as a noun, a situation involving exposure to danger. As a verb, expose someone or something valued to danger, harm, or loss. Do we experience risk every day? Sure. We walk outside, get in our car, drive in rush hour traffic to work or an appointment. We put in our time, then tangle with the commute or other traffic home. That's a risk. Now don't minimize that risk, because some people leave their home completely unaware they'll never come home again. That their life here will be over today. The statistics show it's more risky or dangerous to drive than to fly. Yet many will drive long distance, add countless hours from their fear, thinking they have reduced their risk. Question: what are you not doing today because of the risk, real or perceived? I've heard it said the greatest risk is not taking a risk. See, we're guaranteed two things in life: death and taxes. Some may try to succeed, cheating the tax man, but we'll never cheat imminent death. There's nothing we can do to add one more moment to our lives. That is why life is so valuable, because every moment is ticking away, and we can never stop that. We will die, whether we like it or not. Denying it won't stop it. Some people may think that it's morbid to think of death so much. If you haven't heard Tim McGraw's song, Live Like You Were Dying, death is the greatest motivator I have to not let my own thoughts and fears get in my way of doing what I know I'm here to do. Does that mean my thoughts and fears never get in my way? Absolutely not. Ultimately, my spirit that currently resides in my body, I have a humanness to that. I have an imperfect mind or soul that is constantly at war. Who am I at war with? The Bible calls him the thief, who comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. John 10:10. In that same verse, Jesus says, I am come that you may have life and more abundantly. So if you were not aware until seeing this video in this moment, yes, we are at war every moment. And especially the more we're succeeding at sharing God's light and love and the truth with people, the more the enemy will try to stop us. Should that cause us to retreat? Our energy to wither? Pull back in fear of what might happen? No. Because as greater is he who is in me than he who's in the world, I, in 1 John 4:4 read, and that verse states, you little children are from God and have overcome them. We are from God. Take a moment and just comprehend that. If we are from God and we read, how much power do we have within us? Not taking credit as our own power, but God's power. Read the word. The answers, everything is in there. So what risk can you really face that cannot be obliterated by taking charge of a situation, by marshaling and mobilizing God's power within you? Have you heard thoughts are things? This is true. Whatever we think about, we create. Especially what we think about more. Are more of my thoughts focused on success or failure, risk or reward, time invested or time wasted? Are the things that get my time investments that will grow into what I'm called to? Or do these things rob me of that precious, valuable time only to never get those moments back? When contemplating a risk, just remember that one way or another, there will be an outcome. Out of those outcome possibilities, which do you want most? Are you willing to settle? Then prove to yourself you're not worthy of the higher road? I don't care if you just take baby steps in the direction you want to go. even if you have to dissect into small bites, that is so much better than giving up on your dreams because the risk seems too great or it feels too overwhelming. Remember also a takeaway here. When you're pursuing your dreams, actively taking steps, there will be times you'll not yet see any results. That's where faith comes in. The only way we can grow stronger in our faith is to exercise it. What is faith? Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. A key word that is most often overlooked, now. Now faith. Not yesterday or past faith. Not future faith. Now present moment faith. That's because we can't live in the past, though it's so easy to live from it. We can't live in the future, though that often motivates us with carrots, and we sacrifice today, this very moment. We have to live in this single very moment with now faith. Think about this for just a second, and I'll pause. Close your eyes and visualize yourself being full of faith right this moment for something you want to achieve. Full of faith. A goal. A dream. Full of faith for what you want to accomplish and succeed at. Now think about that moment. In that moment, that very one single moment, did you have doubt or think about risk? I can guarantee that if you were fully present in that moment, focusing on what you want, then you weren't focused on risk. That's because the brain, the mind, cannot focus on two opposing thoughts in the very same exact moment. It's impossible. By the way, the word impossible, when broken down, is simply, I'm possible. This leads me to the concept of seeing the glass. Do you see it half full or half empty? That is our gauge for how we live our lives. What is our theme? Half empty or half full? The difference is simply the energy we feel. When I see the opportunity as half full, that's my starting point for finishing the job. Finishing the masterpiece that God has called me to paint. And that hourglass of sand is constantly continuing to spill out toward the bottom. We are all in a race to the finish. Will you finish your masterpiece? I pray you will. As only you can paint what God has brought you here. For I have learned, though, that with some purposes, that God must see fulfilled. If the person intended just can't find a way through and into this, God will have to choose to give it to someone else. If I can't grow because I choose not to, into who He has called me to be for what He has intended to create through me, He will choose one who will come through for Him. My greatest prayer today is that He will illuminate the path and help me walk it and become all He has created me to be. Touch every single soul that He has brought me here for. That He will keep my days here long as my soul desires any more is that He be discovered and known by everyone. One day all will acknowledge Him, no matter if they refused Him their whole life here. Refused Him because they couldn't get through their own wounding that caused them to turn away from Him, blame Him, hold Him responsible for every bad thing that went through in their life. In my lifetime, I've seen things that children should never have to see. Things that could destroy a child forever. Not this child, though, because this child is a child of the King. Psalm 68:5 calls God a father to the fatherless. Most of my grown-up years, I had no father. The two intermittent examples I experienced were horrific. The miracle is God has always made His presence known to me, even as a little child experiencing traumas unconscionable. or unreasonably excessive, as the dictionary would define. He is knocking at your door, climbing your mountain to be with you as you go through your trials. In the Bible, in the book of Daniel, God didn't take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego out of the fire. He sent Jesus to join them. We have to experience fires. That is the only way we grow stronger, more capable, more qualified to fulfill everything that He has intended for us. So thank you for your time receiving this message. I pray you'll revisit any of these scriptures mentioned here. Come listen to this again. Allow it to feed you on your journey growing into all He's intended for you. Go through jwowministries.net. That's jwowministries.net. Go through our website. There's a place for prayer requests. There's a place to be served with communion if you don't have a church that you go to be fed, to come to the table. Know that all you're struggling with that comes against you, you don't have to walk alone. We are warriors, empowered with His strength, His sword, as Ephesians 6 encourages us to put on the armor. A warrior would never go into battle without his armor. We battle every day with everything fighting for our attention. Everything dark in the world coming at us. We must suit up, put on our armor, so we're better prepared, better equipped. And in jwowministries.net, there's a place for Life Coach. You click on that link, it'll take you to a website, nowyourbestyou.com. As a life coach, faith-based life coach, I'm here to empower you, support you, provide structure, support, accountability. If you have anything in your life that you want more, better, different, sign up for a free 30-minute consultation and ask me some questions. Let me ask you a few pointed questions. Decide for yourself if there's something you want more, better, or different. Doesn't cost you anything. Also, anything that you find in the website through the media channel, the messages, the videos, the audios, our app, our JWoww app, in the Apple Store, in the Google Play Store. Pass it on and share it if you will. Let me serve you out of the love that this was all born out of. JWoww Ministries is a service and a ministry of love. Communion for you is a ministry of love. You submitting prayer requests is a ministry of love. You can give on there if you love what you're finding here. We are a nonprofit 501c3 ministry, so you can give. Your donations and gifts are tax deductible. But most importantly, connect. We weren't meant to walk through this world alone. With every risk that we face out there, let's do it together in community. God bless you. Take care, and I hope to hear from you soon.